Good morning, everybody. Hey, y'all come on in. Hey, hey. I hope y'all having an amazing day. It is another awesome day here at Team with Team Tisdale. We ask you to forgive us for the delay this morning. Y'all, it's one of those mornings, but we just thank God that we are here. And so y'all just come on in real quick. We not honestly today, we're not gonna be before y'all too long today. But we want y'all to come in. We want y'all to just jump in. Be sure that you say hey. Thank you, sissy. Great morning. Hey, I see you. Great morning. Thank you, sissy. You ready? He over here in business mode already. Are you ready? Oh, yeah. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl.
Hey, your boy.
Team Tisdale all day. And welcome to another episode of Kicking It with Team Tisdale. We are so glad to be before y'all to this morning. Like we said, we definitely apologize for the delay. We had some unforeseen circumstances that popped up right at the last minute this morning, but we are so glad to still be able to come to the building and be here with each and every one of you. Team Hunter rocks, okay? But we are so glad to be here with y'all this morning. Y'all, today is a day that we're gonna kind of kick it. It's gonna be like a short. It's gonna be a short show today because we got some other things that we got to get done. But we just wanted to come on here. We wanted to end the year talking about things that we were reflecting on. Right. But so while we getting ready for that, we got some things that we need you to do first. Okay, we need y'all to share. As we already got one person's doing it now that's already did it, our sissy Rhonda up in Jersey. We want to be sure that you share. Let everybody know that Team Tisdale is in the building. Next to that is the little button that says comments. You want to be sure that you comment. Let everybody know that, say something, say hello. Let us know you here. Throw in some your reflections of the year, all of those things. Be sure that you put that in the comments. Then we have these colorful emojis, right? And it's like a like, it's a love, it's a laugh, it's a wow, it's a crying emoji, and it's a mad emoji. And for those two emojis, we're gonna go turn it over to none other than our boy for the motivated moment.
My man, we right here trying to get this thing going. But yes, with the little emojis and everything. I'm turning this thing down. I got a tablet, everything going on, trying to get stuff going on back here. Y'all pray for me. Pray for me. Yeah, so how we like to do for where we have like the angry emojis and everything like that. You're not mad at us. You're just mad at your situation. And in your tears, those are your happy tears. Happy tears. Yay. And that's also what we like to go out with the 10-second count off right here. So we get rid of all the bad vibe, negative vibe that's trying to keep you from doing the things of what God needs for you to do to be great. All right. So here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we just cast that thing on out. If you're a fisherman, don't fish this thing out the water.
Don't go get it. Don't go get it. We don't want it. We don't.
I know I don't want it because we don't want what I got going. I don't need it right now.
We don't want it
at all.
But yes, and going from that moment, we are going right into our support Saturday sponsors. If you want to be a Support Saturday sponsor, be sure that you hit us up on our Kicking It with Team Tisdale page. You can go to message us and let us know that you want to be a Support Saturday sponsor. Yes. And we will get all the information that you need. Okay?
Amen.
So our first Support Saturday sponsor is none other than Fiery Beacon Publishing House, LLC. Woo-hoo! Yes, with the amazing founder and CEO, Pastor Brandy Rojas, and her amazing Fiery Beacon team. We want to be sure that we shout them out. Be sure that you show them love. Look, y'all, they got some amazing specials going on right now. And look, you don't want to miss out. You can begin your letter, as they said, you become a literary genius for 2022. She got a clergy collab. Look, and I heard that the spots are filling up. So you want to be sure that if you are clergy, go jump on that collab. Yeah, yes, Fiery Beacon LLC. We want to be sure that you jump on that collab. Go ahead, share what you know, share your knowledge for those who are coming up in ministry, for those who already been in ministry, but they're experiencing new things that they've never experienced before. We want you to be sure that you share your story. Let the world know. Pull the covers off of things that's been hidden and not been talked about. So be sure that you tune in to that. Go ahead and sign up and everything. There's other collaborations coming up. You want to do a solo project, all of that. You can go to Linktree/Fiery Beacon Publishing House LLC, and I will put the link in the comments after the show. But you want to go there and be sure that you sign up today and let them know that you want to start your literary genius next year. Okay? So be sure you tune in to Fiery Beacon. Be sure you sign up. Be sure you do it all at Fiery Beacon LLC. Hey, okay? Woo-hoo! So our last but not least Support Saturday sponsor is none other than our favorite place of worship, Maximizing Life Family Worship Center, home of the Max Life Church. We are located at 2902 East Market Street, Greensboro, North Carolina. That is actually the home base campus. We also have an EMAX campus. Yes, y'all. We also, can we get a Max Life in the comments and in the building?
Max Life. I'm here.
But we definitely want to be sure that you go in. You can join us, like I said, in person, or you can join us virtually. You can go to our Facebook page on Maximizing Life Family Worship Center, home of the Max Life Church. There's some EMAXs right there. Yes. So we want to be sure that you can join. You can join the church. You can join the services that way or on the e-service. And look, it's absolutely amazing either way around. Yes. Our amazing servant leaders are Pastor Omar Rojas and Pastor Brandy Rojas. Y'all, when I tell you that we just thank God for their leadership, we thank God for their yes, and we thank God for their push, because they're just absolutely amazing. Okay, yes. And our services are on Sundays at 8:30 a.m. Then we followed by the impartation that starts at 9:00 a.m. Yes. And then we also have Wednesday starting January 2022. Right now we're on a sabbatical, so we're spending time with our families this month, so there's no Bible study going on for the month of December. But coming back in January 2022, we have the LifeWire Bible study at 7:00 p.m. every Wednesday. You can catch us on the radio. Okay, y'all say radio. We are on the radio every Saturday at 5:00 p.m. and Sunday mornings at 7:00 a.m. and throughout the day on Sundays. So where you can find us, I'm going to tell you, thebachelornews.airtime.pro. I'll be sure to put the link in the comments after the show. But you want to tune into that. You can catch the amazing word that we've heard the weeks before on Wednesdays, on Sundays, on that Saturday. And you can also pregame yourself for coming either on EMAX or coming in the building
on
pregame. Go ahead and get yourself ready, because what our disclaimer is: once you walk through the Max Life doors, versus if it's virtual or if it's in person, what happens after you cross over those doors is between you and the Lord. We have no responsibility.
Man, we're gonna make y'all sign a waiver. If anything was to happen, you can't blame us.
No, whatever
you and the Lord.
The experience you have is the experience you have, and you just got. I'm telling you, it's worth the experience. That's the thing. It's worth the entire experience.
Yes, be happy to sign the waiver, and then go ahead and have your experience. That's all I got to say.
Because look, we'll tell you from our first time coming to Max Life, when we were just visitors, the experience. Yes, a Max Life disclaimer. Exactly.
See, look, you know exactly what I mean. Right.
Our first time here at Max Life was phenomenal. That's the best way to put it in one. If I had to put it in one word, it was absolutely phenomenal. It was life-changing. It was soul-stirring. It was just amazing. And it made us hungry for more. It made us hungry to come back to experience that type of worship, that type of teaching and learning and everything. And so, and then to find out they do stuff in the community. And I was like, yo, that's what we wanted to do. We actually had put it on our vision board at the time that we wanted to do be volunteers.
Right.
And so we was able to do that year with the Feed 3. At that time, it was a Feed 300. And God blessed us to feed more than 300 people. We fed about 1,200 people that day. Yes. And we still, y'all, I still remember it to this day. We fed we must have been feeding 300 people. We fed 1,200 people, which included all the volunteers. It included everyone that we served that day. And then we served a family of 5, and then I think a family of 10 on that day as well. And then
we were just feeding a lot of
people. We were feeding a lot of people. And then look, after everything was over, we still had food. Oh my God. I mean, there was food for days. Everybody took plates home. People was able to take pans of food home. Then we was able to leave food at the IRC where we were doing everything. It was just absolutely phenomenal. And God blessed us to do it again the next year with Feed 500. And then soon after that, we like, you know what? We got to make this change. Some other things happened. And God was like, it's time to move. And we moved, and we've been members. Now, as of January, it'll be 2 years that we'll be members. It'll be 2 years this January. And so,
y'all ain't got rid of me yet.
So just to be a part of this amazing organization is just absolutely phenomenal. To call it more than just our church, it's literally our second home with our second family. And we just love y'all. Just love y'all. Rhonda put on here, absolutely. I was thinking about this morning, the first time I actually met my pastors. Right. Like, I want to say, I still have that. I still remember that day, that the first time Pastor Brandy came to date at the smoothie shop that we was working at the time. And she pulled up. She pulled up. And of course, she was driving her the Altima, and she came, and I didn't know, because she didn't park near our car, and I had a delivery to do, and so I was leaving out, and she was coming in. She was like, "Hey, pretty girl." I looked up. I went, "Hey," and then she got closer. I was like, "Oh my God! You're the Pastor Brandy." I'm like, I had a whole grouping moment, and I was like, I gotta go take this order. Are you leaving? Are you staying? She's like, I'll be here when you. I'm like, okay, I'll be right back. I tell you, that was the fastest I have ever delivered anything. I know, and I was using GPS. I use that GPS, and I know I sped all the way there, dropped it off, made sure the person got their order, and I sped all the way back. And she was there, and she stayed with us. And the blessing about that at the time where I worked at, they had cut some of my hours. Yeah. And so I was supposed to been going into work that day, and I think I got called out of work. They told me I didn't have to come, or something that day.
No, you went in for a half a day, and then about the time you went in like that morning, and then when you got off of work to come do the delivery, you was off for the rest of the day,
or something like that. Yeah, it was something like that, something of that nature.
Sit there and just
because I was able to sit there and enjoy it.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah, I was able to enjoy being there and everything.
And it's hard with her because she's looking like,
yeah, it was like she just listening to her talk, and she literally began to encourage us that day. And of course, the two of them was catching up because they hadn't seen each other in such a long time. And I found out they had went to school together. They known each other since they were young, and things like that. They had grew up in the same neighborhood, all of this kind of stuff. I was like, oh, wow. And I was just so fascinated with her and just her spirit. And then meeting her, going to a church service with her, and then meeting her husband, I was like, just absolutely flabbergasted. So, look, she said, like this ain't Facebook Live, Zoom. They right here on my birthday. Right. And what Rhonda's talking about, this is how amazing our pastors are, y'all. They literally took a trip to Rhonda and her husband, Sylvester. They live in New Jersey. And so our pastors went all the way up to Jersey. It was Rhonda's 50th birthday. And they went up there and they surprised both her and her husband on the day of her birthday party. And when I tell you the look on her face was like bananas. Even our brother, like Pastor Omar, opened the door for him, and he's like, it didn't ring that Pastor Omar was opening the door for him. And when they finally realized who it was beautiful to see that. And that's the kind of the servant leaders that we have. They literally serve. They don't hold themselves in a high regard, and we don't idolize them. Let's get that clear. We don't idolize them. We talk about what God does through them because they are great examples of godly excellence, and that we as a part of their church are learning and striving and to do is become that kind of godly excellence, that we learn, that we love people like they love people. We serve God and his people the way they serve God and our people. And it's just absolutely amazing to see these examples. And we just thank God for that. Like we say, we thank God for our church. We thank God for the things they've done. And that kind of segues right into today's topic is reflection. So, we're getting ready to end out the year. It's about to be, the end of the school year. Y'all, I'm such a teacher. It's the end of the year. It's end of 2021. And so we was like, what better way to end 2021 than to reflect on it, to talk about what we learned, to talk about, to be honest, open and transparent, and to keep it hot. Yeah. And just talk about it. That's what we're going to do the next 3 days, these next 3 shows, is just really reflect on our 2021. And we want to reflect with you. And so that's why we, it's perfect that our place of worship led right into us, talking about this, right, reflecting on it, because we know that this year has been the most.
I saw this and I'm like, I have to.
Come on, teacher. But I had a whole teacher moment last night, y'all. somebody had to tell me you're not at school. I was like, I know, but it's hard to turn it off. When it gets cut on, it's automatic. It just I go to teacher mode real fast. But I just thank God for what He has done this year. Has it been a peachy perfect year? No, it hasn't. It's been a learning year. I will say that. It's been a big learning year. Um, and a year of coming to realization. It's been a year of, and this is just segue into, you know, getting to the chunk of stuff. It's been a year of learning, a year of revelation, a year of tests and trials. It's been a year. It's been a year of um I don't it's been a year, but not all bad. I will say that it's been a year of growing, a year of realizing who I am. That's why I wore my shirt today, Girl Be Healed, because this is where it started for me. And like this right here, this shirt, this conference, you know, help help ended out my year better. So I can go into 2022 a whole new person.
Right.
And if it wasn't for this conference, once again, is when his daughters gathers, ignite her soul, International Women's Fellowship. If you're not a part of that, ladies, you need to get on it. Okay, it is on Facebook. I will put it in the chat. Rhonda, you can tag. I know you're part of that page. Put in a tag. That's another organization ran by our amazing, the visionary. It's our Pastor Brady Rojas. And when I tell you, like, this conference here changed my life, the first part of the year, there was a lot of roller coasters this year.
True.
A lot of roller coasters this year. Between, starting off on a high, because we had to celebrate it 1 year of being here at Max Life. But it coming in from 2020, going into 2021 was really interesting, because we had a big downward slide, I would say, coming out of 2020, starting in October, when Daryl got put in the hospital and became a double amputee, almost losing him several times during that time. Y'all have heard the story more times than once. But losing him, and we were talking about it last week, as far as with me being the caregiver, I went through depression. I'm be honest. We're keeping it hot, right?
Right.
I went through depression. I went through some withdrawals. I went through a lot of self-sabotaging.
Right.
And I went through a lot of just not knowing, not like spiritually, I knew my husband was okay. I knew things would be okay, but as a wife, let's be real, okay? Let's keep it real hot. Even though I prayed, and I believed that God was going to work things out, I still was a wife. I still had my human moments, because every day sitting there and being at home, and at the time I was working from home because we were virtual due to the pandemic. And so sitting there, or sitting at the office where I was at, and every day not knowing what that phone call would be, especially when that 832 number popped up, and not knowing what they'll say on the other end after I said hello. And going into, with that, and then, like I said, that caused me to go into a depressive state. And it was a different type of depression, because I've been through depression, and that was a different type. I had allowed stuff to go at home. I was literally just living. I wasn't. I wasn't living. Excuse me. I was functioning. Literally just functioning, and I was on automatic in a bad way. And so, um, from there, going into 2021, my husband's home from the hospital. Yeah, I was literally just existing. Husband come home from the hospital. Going into 2021, things start to look up, but then there was a lot of other roller coasters that we went through, both emotional stuff, learning things, um, dropping balls, on things, because I put too much on my plate at one time. And how many, one thing that I can say is when you put too much on your plate and then you trying to juggle. At the time I was going to, I had took a leave of absence from school because I'm just going to be an esthetician. So I took a leave of absence from school while Daryl was out. But that January I had to go back. So going back to school, working full time. But mind you, still virtual, so it was okay. But there was so many other things that were going on, and like I said, still kind of just existing, not really, not really, not really doing the best, not being the best me. Um, and I just remember, like I said, there was a lot of highs for me. The highs, I would be high one moment, I would be good and doing great things and think I'm on the right track, and then I would allow certain things to come under me and knock me off my feet, and then I would just kind of like, whatever, and I would cause myself to get into depression again. um Other thoughts will come into mind of harming myself, and you know stress. I allowed myself to stress, and it came all of that like I said, led up to September of 2021. By September of 2021, I had got to, right before this conference, actually, I tried to hurt myself again. I tried to I tried to end my life again. And this time, only thing that kept me, as I told my husband, only thing that kept me was him. That kept me from doing it because I didn't want him to get hurt. Right? I didn't want to see him in pain, not because of me, and because of what I was dealing with internally. And and it took this conference for God to tell me, "Let me be your daddy." And when I did that, when I finally let it go, and I went, and there's a lot of things that transpired, and I finally let him be my daddy. And every time he gave me a memory, I allowed him to heal it. I finally just said, looked at myself in that mirror, in that small mirror, and I said, "You gotta go. You cannot continue to run my life for 36 years. You have caused me to be in so much pain. You have caused me to sit in a rut that and to stay in cycles that I was tired of, and but I didn't know how to get out of it because I kept putting myself back into it." And so when I finally let it go, the last half of this year has been bananas. Okay, like walking in healing, walking in freedom, walking in deliverance. And yes, I still make mistakes. I know I'm not perfect, but guess what? I walk in accountability now. Before, I would make a mistake, and only time I was accountable is when I got caught. Let me keep it real hot. That's the only time I would say something. or acknowledge it is when I got caught or I got caught up and somebody had to say something about my mess. And so, right, sis, how about that? Like, literally, like, that's the only time I would acknowledge the accountability. And then I will be accountable for a moment, and then I will go back to my old ways. So, as our leaders say, I was consistently inconsistent. And I was like, no, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep being inconsistent. I can't keep being, you know, can't keep can't keep doing this to myself. Number one, doing this to God, doing it to myself, and doing it to those who I love, who I say I love. And as Sis put it up there earlier, the one thing our pastors tell us that love shows up. And when love shows up, it's both physical, it's both mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual. Love shows up, and if I say I love these people, then I need to show up by being a better me. I can't say that's the number one way that I can show them that I love them and then I appreciate them for what I do. I appreciate my husband when I stand up and be a wife, the wife that God calls me to be. I can show my leaders, I appreciate them being my leader when I stand up and I show up and be the servant that they're training me to be. That is how I can show up. That shows them love. But I was allowing I'm keeping it hot. I was allowing self-sabotage. I was allowing my feelings. I was allowing my emotions to get to the best of me and not allowing me. I was allowing past hurt and pain and rejection to get me into a place where I cannot be who God called me to be for myself, for my husband, for my leaders, for anybody. I couldn't do that. And it took When His Daughters Gather 2.0 for me to realize it. It took all the roller coaster rides to realize that I had enough of going up and having the ups and the downs and around and abouts and coming back to the same spot. Because one thing with a roller coaster, where you start is where you end. You go real back. And what I mean by that is if you start here, you come back to that same spot, that same platform that you started on. You go right back to that same platform. No matter the twists and the turns, the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows, you come back to the exact same platform. And that is what I was doing in my life. I was allowing myself to go through the ups, the downs, the twists, and the turns to come back to the same place and to start all over again from that same place. I got tired of the twists and the turns and not turning around. I got tired of starting here and coming back here. I got tired of it. I finally said, you know what? Enough is enough. Enough is enough. I finally said, I got to do better. I was talking to myself on the way here. Tasha, you got it. Every day I tell myself, Tasha, you got to do better today. Every day is a day for me to do better. Every day when God allows me to open my eyes and to take in the first breath of fresh air every morning, and I tell God, thank you for waking me up. Thank you for allowing me to see another day. Thank you, Lord, for giving me activity of my limbs. No matter what my body is feeling, I am healed. I am whole. I'm set free and I'm delivered because you gave me this day to do it. You gave me this day to live in it. And every day I make a conscious effort. A conscious effort to be better than I was the day before. I make it every day a conscious effort. If I find out I made a mistake, guess what? I'm gonna be accountable and I'm gonna fix it. Because that's what accountability do. You don't make up excuses. You just fix it. Do better. And you keep trying. Don't give up. Keep trying. That is what I learned about myself this year. That I found my don't give up. And like really, I'm living in it. It's not that I just found it. I'm living in it. Don't give up. Right. I'm living in it. It's going to be okay. Tomorrow is a better day. Every day, this moment, it ain't even gotta wait till tomorrow. This moment can be better. This the rest of you start off with a mistake, you don't have to end off in that mistake. You made a mistake this morning, guess what? Your day don't have to end reflecting on that mistake that you made this morning. Make it better. Be better. Think better. Think positive. Think more joyful. Be happy on purpose. That is what I learned. That's what I'm That's my biggest reflection from this year is me being a better me for me and glorifying God while doing it. Go ahead. I know you want to say something. Sorry.
No, I mean, because we got to get ready to
go. Okay.
So I have to tell mine next week. This is supposed to start it off, then she just decided to go on in.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go in.
Well, no, I will discuss mine next week because we do have to get ready to go. But then yeah, I'm glad that you learned what you learned. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, it's really a lot. It is a lot. I don't want to like really go into it because like we said, it wasn't going to be on before you love because we have other obligations. I wasn't expecting you to go in like that. so like yeah, but like I tell myself like I tell mine next week, because she gonna have more anyway. But it's I mean pretty much like I could just say like this just from this year, from where how the best way to say it, from where it's like when you think that everything is over, but then God allows you to have a new beginning. I mean, just think about it like that, from where you think everything is over, from where everything from where we done went through and everything. But then God's allowing you to, but God is showing you, saying, yo, it's just new beginnings.
Right.
It's just getting you to like the new place on where I need for you guys to be at.
Right.
And everything. And that's just, I take that dear because just like from where we was talking coming in and everything like that, because she was telling me about like, the stuff of what we were about to get ready to do. She said, oh yeah, like that's how it was last year. I said, well, you gotta remember I wasn't here last year.
Right.
And so she was like, oh yeah, that's right, you wasn't here last year. So like everything like what's going on right now, like just everything from what happened last year, like that, I'm experiencing it for like the first time.
For the first time.
For the actual first time, from where like the actual year of being a part of Mac's life, like I really didn't get to experience it. Right. Technically, for me, I feel like this is still like my first year.
Or whatever. Yeah, because the latter half. So we joined the church in 2019. So 2020 we made our first year, right? No, we joined the church in 2020. 2020. We joined the church January 2020. So 2021 was our first year. So the first, because we joined the church January 2020. Daryl went in the hospital September of 2020, and was gone. Wasn't able to come back to church.
So like
you was EMAX for a hot minute.
I was EMAX for a hot minute, but then it was still times where I missed.
Right, and then of course with the pandemic, we also was home. Right. Yeah, when we the first half of the year of 2021, due to the pandemic, we was home. We were virtual. Darren and I,
I had to be virtual.
Yeah, we had to be virtual. That first good few months. It was probably like the summer.
Yeah, I had to be virtual. So. I had to be virtual for whenever I had surgery.
Yeah.
And so there was, and then that's shows when love shows up.
Love showed up.
They want to be like, no, we know you want to try to get here and everything, but it's best for you to stay home.
Yeah.
And then that was hard.
That was hard. It was really, really hard. I can't go. It was hard. I want to say it wasn't until near the summer or near our anniversary or so before Daryl was able to come back to church. And and because things had worked out for him to get at the time bus services to get transportation to get here. Mm-hmm. And so by that time he was able to come. It might have been a little bit before our anniversary. It might have been like more so April-ish.
It was like April. Maybe. Like April. But the fact of the matter was, it was just the fact of, you still feeling like the starting off like the new beginnings from whatever they was doing, Feed 500 last year.
Yeah.
And everything.
And you couldn't be there.
I couldn't be there to do what I needed
know.
to do.
That was hard.
So it was just like.
That was real hard for him.
And then for them to tell you, said, no, you need to stay home. And I said, oh, I could do this, No, stay home.
Mm-hmm.
Like rest up and everything. And then that was showing me, that was God showing me, said, hey, like they're looking out for you.
Right.
So don't think that, and I think we even had a meeting or something like that from where our leaders were saying like, yo, your voice is still being heard.
Right.
And then from whatever you feel like sometimes that your voice is not being heard because that you're over here and then everybody's over there.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it kind of made a difference from where that they really reiterated and said like, yo, like your voice is still heard, like you are still needed.
Right.
And you're still needed on the things of what you do.
Right.
And everything. And actually that's like really what got me back up. That's actually what really made me want to drive even harder for Motivated to the Max, kicking it with Team Tisdale,
right,
and everything like that. Just hearing that, saying like, yo, your voice still need to be heard,
right.
And so I just use that as like the catapult, saying like, you know what, I gotta make it do what it do,
right,
and keep on going. But I mean, it's several more to reflect on.
Yeah,
but that's just the gist.
That's just the gist. That's just the beginning.
That's just a small beginning of it. Because it's so much from where we have learned separate, and for where we are learning together as husband and wife,
mm-hmm.
and everything. It's just, it's a lot. I mean, y'all get more of it on next week.
Yeah,
we expect her to go in like the way she
did. I'm sorry.
She does it every time. So, but we're definitely gonna go more into it next week.
Yes.
Even same thing. I'm not gonna reflect on Motivated to the Max. I like to keep it with kicking it with Team Tisdale.
Right.
And everything. If I reflect on Motivated to the Max, y'all might be there till Saturday.
Oh my goodness. We don't want that. We don't want that.
We don't want to do that. But yeah.
But it's been another amazing show. We will see y'all next week. Be sure that you tune in. Like I said, tune in today at 5:00 for our church's broadcast, Life Cafe radio show, and on the bachelornews.airtime.pro. Be sure you tune in tomorrow morning. Be sure you tune into the Sunday service on Maximizing Life Family Worship Center, home of the Max Life Church. Be sure you do that. Be sure that you come into the building at 2902 East Market Street. Don't forget, Motivated to the Max is now 5 days a week, Monday through Friday.
Man, y'all pray for me, though.
Yes, it is now Monday through Friday. So be sure that you tune in at 9:00 a.m. Monday through Friday. That's not interesting to say now. Motivated to the Max Monday through Friday. Be sure that you tune in. Be sure that you continue to share, like, and love everything, and download.
I'm going to give y'all a new schedule, though, because I'm not going to do all the episodes at 9 a.m.
Oh, there's a new schedule. So y'all stay tuned for that.
It's some going to be like at noon. Because like Friday's episode, I did at noon. So, I mean, I ain't get, I have my people on there, but it's like, I'm going to mix it up some. The podcast where they're like, dude, we get it every day. So, I mean, it don't matter.
So just be sure you stay tuned. A lot of things are popping off for right before 2020, and we're just excited about all of it.
Just like right now, like we started out something new. Like right now, Kicking the Team Tisdale is on YouTube right now.
Oh yes, hi YouTube.
We're on YouTube right now.
Greetings. But yeah, we're now on YouTube as well. So that's something new, and it's some.
We gotta change how the way I spelled it. I messed up. I was half asleep when I was setting up everything, so I had to change the name on it. But then once we get the full right name change, we will tell you guys to go subscribe, join, follow, all that bag of chips and everything like that. And then so catch Kicking It with Team Tested on YouTube now.
Yes.
On the Facebook Live.
All right, y'all. We got to get off here. We love y'all. Y'all have an amazing day. And for those who are just now joining us, be sure that you catch the replay. It is reflection. They're talking about reflecting of our 2021 going into 2022. And we love you. I am your girl.
And I'm your boy.
Team Tisdale all day. And thank you for watching Kicking It with Team Tisdale. We'll see you next time. Bye.
We love you too. Boom, boom.